The next topic is judicial reform of Lord Cornwallis. Elected, they were deprived of the judicial power. Okay, and separate judicial system was actually established by Lord Cornwallis. So how he established, did reform in judiciary? Actually, he set up court at town level, district level, as well as the province level. He did set up court at town level, district level, as well as the province level. Court which was set up at town level was known as Munsif Court. Munsif Court. Okay. Court which was set up at district level was known as District Court, also known as Diwani Adalat. Diwani Adalat. And at province level, four provincial court of appeal was established. Four provincial court of appeal was established. Where? Murshidabad, Dhaka, Calcutta, as well as Patna. So in Bengal, is four provincial court of appeal was actually set up, and Supreme Court at Calcutta became the highest court of the appeal. Okay, so at town level, district level, province level, and the highest court of appeal was Supreme Court. Munsif Court, Diwani Adalat, four provincial court of appeal at Murshidabad, Dhaka, Calcutta, as well as Patna, and at higher level, Supreme Court at Calcutta was there. Okay, so judiciary was actually, this judicial reform was actually initiated by Lord Cornwallis, and they are going to look the judicial affair. Okay, clear? Right? He did set up court at town level, district level. He did set up court at town level, district level, and at province level. Okay. Next point. At town level, lower court was created. At town level, lower court was created, which came to be known as court. Munsif Court. MUSI, Munsif Court. Next point. The higher court was district court. The higher court was district court. The higher court was district court, also known as Diwani Adalat. Also known as Diwani Adalat. Diwani Adalat. Next point. Above Diwani Adalat, there was Provincial Court of Appeal. There was four Provincial Court of Appeal set up at Murshidabad, Calcutta, Dhaka, Patna. Murshidabad, Calcutta, Dhaka, and Patna. Supreme Court at Calcutta. Supreme Court at Calcutta was the highest court of appeal. Supreme Court at Calcutta was the highest court of appeal. Clear? So These were the judicial reform that was actually introduced by Lord Cornwallis. And last reform, no, police reform of Cornwallis. Police reform of Cornwallis. See, earlier, traditionally, I told you already, landlords, jamindars, they had the policing power. Means they used to manage the law and order problem, especially in the. But when they became the owner of the land, they became the land revenue collector. They were deprived of this power. Okay. Means power of policing. Suppose if any landlords is harassing the peasants, then in that case, to whom they are going to complain? Same jamindar. Do you think they are going to listen? So landlord were deprived of the policing power, maintaining law and order. And at district level, Cornwallis created a post known as Superintendent of Police, SP. Tomorrow, if you become IPS officer, then you'll given means charge of the particular district. Clear? So Superintendent of Police, okay, was actually appointed at the district, various district in different districts, and local level means, or you can say at town level, various thana, you know, police station were also established, and daroga समझते हो? Daroga means thana, police station in charge. Either you can say some inspector or inspector post was also Cornwallis, and he was responsible as the thana at the town level. Okay, so police reform was also done by, so post of Superintendent of Police at district level, and at thana level, post of daroga, you can say some inspector or police station in charge, was also created by Cornwallis. In this way, police reform was also initiated by Lord Cornwallis to maintain what? Law and order. But jamindar, though they were from their policing, still they had actually in means clear. Even today, many people actually roll to the police station. Okay, so and also these jamindar, they used to give and all this kind of thing to the police, means police officers, and they used to work especially at the behest of the jamindars. But in theory, these systems were actually established to avoid any kind of conflict of interest. Clear? So note it down. Police reform of Cornwallis, right? Traditionally, jamindar had the policing power. Jamindar had the policing power. But it was taken away. But it was taken away from them. It was taken away and handed over to the Superintendent of Police, and handed over to the Superintendent of Police at district level. Superintendent of Police at district level. Next point. At local level, Thana station also established to maintain to maintain law and order. And daroga, sub inspector or inspector, became the in charge of these police stations. Daroga, these terms are given in the book. Daroga means sub inspector or inspector, police station in charge. was appointed. Okay. So these were the police reform that was done by Lord Cornwallis. Okay. Apart from these reforms, some event also took place during his tenure. Some important event like Third Anglo-Mysore War took place between EIC and Tipu Sultan. Between EIC and Tipu. Though the Mysore kingdom was actually very small, but that kingdom was actually creating problem for the British government. Why? Because they used to challenge the authority of the British. Second, they were an ally of the French. Okay. And Cornwallis, he was anti-French, anti-France, because he was leading the army in America. Okay. And he was defeated by the American rebellions who were supported directly as well as indirectly by the French forces, French government. Clear? So Cornwallis had personal, you can say, grudge against the Tipu because he was an ally of the French. Why this war started? This war started on a very small issues. Actually, here small kingdom was there. Name is Travancore. Travancore kingdom. Travancore King Raja of Travancore was an ally of EIC. EIC and Travancore kingdom, they were an ally. Clear? And above Travancore, there was kingdom of Mysore. So there was some territorial dispute at the border of Travancore as well as the Mysore. So without consulting with Tipu, Raja of Travancore, he started actually fortifying the disputed territory. He started fortifying, or you can say occupying the disputed territory without talking to Tipu. And because of that, Tipu attacked Travancore. Okay, when Travancore was attacked by Tipu, EIC actually attacked Mysore because Cornwallis said that Travancore is our ally. Travancore is. So in this situation, Third Anglo-Mysore War actually took place. In this situation, Third Anglo-Mysore War took place, and in this war, Tipu was defeated by EIC. Tipu was actually defeated by EIC. Clear? And after this defeat, they signed Treaty of Srirangpatnam. They signed Treaty of Srirangpatnam, and the provision of this treaty was actually very harsh upon Tipu. Okay, what were the provision? Like Tipu paid 3.3 crore rupees as a war compensation to EIC. Okay, lot of Mysore area, what EIC as well as Maratha Empire. Okay, very small area though occupied by Maratha Empire. Most of the area was actually basically occupied by Cornwallis. Okay. There was very small kingdom that was occupied by Tipu, Coorg. There is one region, Coorg. The Raja of Coorg got independence from Tipu. Tipu had illegal annex over the Coorg. That Raja actually said that kingdom also got independence. And two sons of Tipu were taken as a hostage by the British for the good behavior of Tipu in future. Okay. So these were the harsh conditions that was actually imposed after this Third Anglo-Mysore War when Tipu was completely defeated by EIC. Okay. Why this issue arises? Because of the Travancore. Territorial dispute was there, and Cornwallis, he was to actually attack or invade Tipu, and he got the opportunity when Travancore asked for help. And he immediately provided help because he wanted to actually crush the Mysore, because Tipu and French, they were an ally. Something was also going on in Europe. Actually, in 1789, very important event took place in Europe known as French Revolution. And during the French Revolution, the monarchy was actually ousted from France. And later on, republican system there was established in. And British, they were anti-French Revolution. Britain was actually. So to avoid for such situation, yeah, okay, they actually try to subdue or suppress the Mysore kingdom. Clear? It was the case. So Third Anglo-Mysore War, what was the result? Tipu was defeated, Srirangpatnam was signed, and he was signed, or you can say various conditions imposed upon Tipu. Okay, so this treaty was basically very humiliating for Tipu. Okay, so note it down. Raja of Travancore and British were an ally. Raja of Travancore, Third Anglo-Mysore War. Raja of Travancore period 1792. Raja of Tipu and sorry, Raja of Travancore and British were an important ally. Next point. There was some territorial dispute between Mysore and Travancore. And Raja of Travancore started fortifying the territory. Raja of Travancore started fortifying the territory, which was also claimed by Tipu. Tipu. Next point. Tipu attacked Travancore. And British attacked Tipu. Next point. In 1792, Tipu was defeated. And Treaty of Srirangpatnam was signed. Next point. As per this treaty, comma, half of the territory of Mysore Kingdom was taken by EIC. Next, Tipu had to pay 3.3 crore CR, 3 crore war compensation to EIC. 3.3 crore war compensation to EIC. Next point. War compensation to EIC. Next point. The Raja of Coorg got independence from Mysore Kingdom. Raja of Coorg got independence from Tipu, Mysore Kingdom. Same thing. Last point. Two sons of Tipu were taken as hostage by EIC. Were taken as a hostage by okay, this treaty was very harsh on people. Clear? And last topic is Charter Act 17. East India Company was basically charter company. Okay. Shareholder company. Invested in that company. In 1773, a regulating act came into picture. In 1773, regulating act came into the picture. I told you why it came. So under regulating act 1770, there was one more provision. Actually, under regulating act 1773, East India Company monopoly was extended for next 20 years. East India Company monopoly extended for next 20 years. Monopoly of East India Company means East India Company was basically a single company. Monopoly means only East India Company had actually right to do business in India. Other companies in Britain had no involved in or indulge in any kind of business in India. Okay, that rights was exclusively to East India Company only. For next 20 years, okay, they extended this monopoly. So 1793, 20 year, 1773 to 1793. So under this Charter Act 1773, once again, the British Parliament the East India Company for next 20 years. Okay, or you can say renewed the monopoly of East India Company for next 20 years. Okay, second provision under this charter was veto power. Veto power was given to Governor General over his council. So here the strength or power of Governor General was increased. The veto power. Even if 3 members, how many members were there? Governor General plus 3. Even if 3 members is against or opposing the Governor General, in that case, he could use his veto power. Okay. So the power of Governor General was increased because he was given veto power. Third, member of BOC and COD. Before 1793, they were getting salary from the Britain. But after 1793, it was the responsibility of EIC to provide or give salary to the member of BOC as well as the COD. Now, actually pay the salary. So the loot of Indian resources further actually increased. So these were the 17. Next Charter Act is also going to come, but after 20 years, 1813. Okay, 1813. Clear? So note it down. Right. It was passed by the British Parliament. Charter Act 1793. Right. It was passed by the British Parliament to renew the charter of EIC. To renew the charter of EIC. This act authorized the company to carry on trade with India for next 20 years. Next point. The Governor General received veto power Governor General received veto power over his council. Over his council. And this provision was introduced to ensure fast decision making, to ensure fast decision making process. That point, the salary of the member of BOC and COD, the salary of the member of BOC and COD would be paid from the salary of the member of BOC and COD would be revenue, EIC revenue, company's revenue. Okay. So these are important provision of Charter Act 1793. Okay. So all these important events took place. Okay. Important reform took place during the time of Lord Cornwallis. Clear? Okay. Next Governor General we are going to study is Lord Wellesley. He was in India from 1798 to 1805. Lord Wellesley, 1798 to 1805. Before that, Sir John Shore, for a period of 5 years, he became the Governor General. After Cornwallis, Sir John Shore, he became the Governor General. But not major important event took place during his tenure, so we are not going to study. Lord Cornwallis. Sorry, Lord Wellesley. See, when he arrived during his tenure, 4th Anglo-Mysore War took place. It was the last Anglo-Mysore War. 4th took place in 1798. Question is, why this war took place? See, I told you already, Tipu and France, they were an ally. They were in alliance. And in 1789, I already told you, French Revolution started. Clear? And after 1795, one hero emerged in Europe, and his name was Napoleon. You must have heard name. Okay. And in 1799, he was member of the directory, and in 1804, he was king of France. Okay. Similarly, Tipu was also the member of Jacobin. You can say Jacobin, basically, it was basically a political party. Okay. So he was also the member of Jacobin Club, and he also planted tree of Liberty in Srirangpatnam. That was the capital of Mysore Kingdom. Okay, because what was the basic principle of French Revolution? They believed in what? Actually, right to equality, liberty, fraternity. They believed in all such progressive concepts. So tree of liberty was also planted, though liberty was not provided by Tipu here. Because the reason is very simple. See, actually Tipu was autocratic ruler. Tipu was not democratically elected. And generally, autocratic ruler, they never believe in giving any kind of power or liberty to their subject. India is democratic country, so all the facilities, freedom to express yourself, to say anything to anyone without even thinking, right? But you cannot say this or do all such kind of activity in Saudi Arabia, because Saudi Arabia is not democratic country. Immediately you will be hanged. Clear? So that term is given in NCERT. Some people say, some historian, they believe what they have written, that Tipu was lover of democracy and all such kind of nonsense. But that was actually not true, because any king, any dictator cannot be the lover of democracy. Democracy means to the people, by the people, for the people. Okay. But that terms, that sentence I'm just writing. Clear? Here, Tipu was it shows that Tipu was an ally of France, and Napoleon came into the power, especially after 1798, 1799. So Tipu wrote 2 letters, one to Napoleon and second to Jaman Shah of Afghanistan. But these 2 letters were actually intercepted by the EIC. He wrote letter to Jaman Shah and he said that we need your support, and it is your moral duty actually to save us and provide us support, because in this battle against kafir means non-Muslim, that is against EIC, it is not possible for us to actually fight alone. So us the support for the sake of Islam. So that letter was intercepted. Similarly, he also wrote letter to Napoleon, and he also invited Napoleon to actually attack India. Attack India means attack EIC. Okay. So in this background, 4th Anglo-Mysore War took place. And in this 4th, last Anglo-Mysore War, Tipu was defeated and he was killed in that battle. So whole of the Mysore kingdom was annexed by EIC, except some area near Srirangpatnam that was restored to Hindu Udyar dynasty ruler. Very small area in the capital that was actually restored to, but most of the area, more than 90% of the area, was basically taken by EIC. Clear? So that is the story of 4th Anglo-Mysore. Clear? Clear? So note it down. Was an ally of France. Tipu was an ally of France, and was also a member of Jacobin Club. Tipu was an ally of France, and he was also the member of Jacobin Club. Jacobin, as well as also plant Tree of Liberty. Also plant Tree of Liberty. Tree of Liberty. In Srirangpatnam. Clear? Next point. The charge against Tipu was intrigue, conspiracy. The charge against Tipu was intrigue against EIC. Intrigue means conspiracy. Intrigue against EIC by inviting Napoleon and Jaman Shah of Afghanistan. And Jaman Shah of Afghanistan to attack India. Jaman Shah of Afghanistan to attack India. Next point. EIC forces marched into Mysore Kingdom marched into Mysore kingdom and seized Srirangpatnam and seized SEIGED, seized Srirangpatnam. And in this war, Tipu was defeated. In this war, Tipu was defeated and killed. Tipu was defeated and killed. Next point. In very small area, the rule of Udyar dynasty was restored. In very small area, rule of Udyar dynasty was restored, and remaining area of Mysore kingdom was annexed by EIC. Acquired by EIC. Clear? So fourth Anglo-Mysore War. Next topic is very important. Subsidiary alliance. Subsidiary, very important topic. Subsidiary alliance. What do you mean by subsidiary alliance? Subordinate. Anyone else?
Alliance based on mutual benefit.
Achha, alliance based on mutual benefit. Anything else? Subsidiary alliance means what? What? No. Speak louder. No. See, subsidiary alliance, subsidiary, it is actually related to subsidy. It is related to subsidiary. Okay. Through various schemes, government used to actually subsidize the various beneficiaries. Like, tell me, compare government college as well as college. The fee of which college is higher, government or private? Wrong. The fee of government college is far more higher than the private college. नहीं समझ में आ रहा है? अच्छा. Actually, the fee of government school or colleges is higher than any private college or institution. Actually, it is the government of India or your state government subsidize based on your merit. Are you getting my point? Okay, because the facility in the government college is far more as compared to the facility that is in private college. Compare IIT with any top private institution, engineering institution in Hyderabad, where you will get more facility. So, fee of IIT or any government college is far more higher as compared to a private college. It is the government of India or state government that subsidize, that gives subsidy. So here subsidiary means it is based on the concept of subsidy. Actually, many people believe that this concept was actually originated by Lord Wellesley, but that is not true. He was the brain behind this because he was the first European who started lending money to the native ruler. He was the first who started giving his army trained French forces or European forces, and he used to get what? Rent. So the native ruler, they actually used to subsidize the European army. Later on, this process or this system was developed by EIC. It was started by Duplay. Then again, in Carnatic War, you have studied that EIC, they also started supply their army to the native state, other party, opposite party. Clear? So Duplay was the originator, but subsidiary alliance system was used by Wellesley in a manner, in very aggressive manner, and he started providing, or you can say renting his army to the native ruler in a very large manner and in very aggressive manner. Okay, and these native ruler, these native state, they used to subsidize the army, means they used to pay the army of the EIC. Clear? And this subsidiary alliance system evolved over time. Like first stage when play Carnatic was going on, remember? So European power, either French or they used to adjust, they used to assist the friendly native state in war and battles. Later on, they started playing larger role, larger. Okay. In subsidiary alliance, that was the system. Friend of friend, no. Later on, when this subsidiary alliance produced in manner by Lord Wellesley, the company started, EIC started stationing the forces in the capital of native state. They started stationing the forces in the capital of the native state. And this system proved to be beneficial for the company in many ways. Clear? So next is provision. What were the provision first? For the upkeep of the forces, for the maintenance of the forces, now it is the state to actually to maintain the army. So money was paid by native state for the army maintenance. Like each and every year, government of India actually spent huge chunk of amount on the defense forces. That is correct. But now here, EIC would be able to maintain large force, but they were free from any kind of expenditure on their military, because now it is the responsibility of the native state to actually maintain the army of the EIC, because these EIC army, they were stationed at the capital of the native state for the safety of this native state. And British, they were very smart. Suppose two kingdoms, they were fighting among each other. Here EIC is there. Okay, by now EIC became very powerful. So it is not possible for these two kingdoms to challenge the EIC. So they used to fight among themselves. So they pleaded to EIC for help. EIC said, very simple, I will help you. Sign or enter into subsidiary alliance system. So what will happen? My forces will be there in your capital. You are going to maintain our forces. Okay. Apart from that, one resident, or you can say British agent, will also be there in your court. Okay. You have to surrender. Next point, very dangerous. You have to surrender your foreign power. Means we are going to deal all your external affair when you enter into the subsidiary alliance system. So these were the important provision that was there in the subsidiary alliance system. So British forces were also there. So they also went to EIC. Why are you doing this? So EIC and also provide same kind of help, because if EIC forces are there, it is not possible for this kingdom to actually invade this. Na? Means invading this kingdom means they are challenging the authority of EIC because they are fighting with the EIC forces. So first they signed, later on they also entered because they had no choice but to enter into the subsidiary alliance system. In initial stage, company said that you have to pay in cash. For the upkeep of the forces, you have to pay in cash. But the rent of the army, maintenance of the army was very huge. So it was not possible for many kingdom actually to supply cash. So in that case, company said, no problem. You surrender some part of your territory to us. So that system proved to be very beneficial for the advantage for the EIC. Clear? So behind this, later it was developed into a robust system by EIC, and Wellesley used this in very aggressive. And which was the first state which entered into the subsidiary alliance system, signed subsidiary alliance system? Hyderabad. Nizam of Hyderabad. Hyderabad was the first state which entered into the subsidiary alliance system. Later it was followed by Mysore, Awadh. Mysore means just after the defeat. The local Raja, he also entered into subsidiary alliance. Local Udaya dynasty ruler. Similarly, Awadh, later on Marathas, they would also enter. That will. Okay, so these were the important provisions that were there in the subsidiary alliance system, which proved to be very beneficial. Now you know the provision. So right. Subsidiary alliance system was used by Wellesley. Was used by Lord Wellesley. Alliance system was used by Lord Wellesley in an extremely aggressive manner. In an extremely aggressive manner. So that no challenges could exist to the safety and security of British Indian Empire. Safety and security of the British Indian Empire. Next point. French Governor General Dupleix is considered to be a brain behind this system. Because he was the first European to provide military assistance to friendly native state. Next point. Later on, this system was adopted by EIC. EIC means British East India Company. Later on, this system was adopted by EIC and evolved into robust robust system. Evolved into robust system. Okay, next one. In first stage, the company used to assist. In first stage, company used to assist friendly native state. Company used to assist friendly native state during war and battle. Assist friendly native state during war and battle. Next point. In second stage, company started playing bigger role. Company started playing bigger role in war and battles. Next point. Next heading, right? Provision of subsidiary alliance system. Provision of subsidiary alliance system. Provision of subsidiary alliance system. Right? First point. A permanent subsidiary force. Permanent subsidiary force. Subsidiary force means force which was subsidized by the native state. Permanent subsidiary force was to be stationed in the capital of friendly native state. Was to be stationed in the capital of friendly native state. Next point. For the upkeep of, upkeep means maintenance of, for the upkeep of this force, native state were asked to pay in cash. And if they could not pay in cash, they were asked to surrender the territory, yielding revenue equal to the cost of maintenance of subsidiary forces. Equal to the cost of maintenance of forces. Next point, next provision. Company was to protect the native state. Company was to protect the native state from all external enemies. Company the native state from all external enemies. Next point. An English resident means agent. An English resident would be placed in the capital of native state. And native state were asked to surrender their foreign relation to the company. To the company. Okay, last point. The native state cannot declare war or peace. The native state cannot declare war or peace without the permission of the company. Without the permission of the company. Without the permission of the company. Write one question. What were the benefit of subsidiary alliance system? What were the benefit of subsidiary alliance system? Subsidiary alliance system to EIC. To EIC. Okay. All right. You have 5 minutes. Likho. Just now I have explained, na? Right? You have 5 minutes. Huh? Okay. See, what were the benefit? First benefit? Stable income. No. The company could maintain, I told you already, the company could maintain large army without having any financial burden. The company could maintain large army without having any financial burden. First point. Okay. So how that is going to be beneficial for EIC? What kind of? So what? How it will be beneficial? Okay, see, I told you already that the subsidiary forces would send either at the capital or at the strategic or important location. They are going to place the army either in the capital or the places of strategic importance, which would enhance the striking capability of EIC against any foreign power. Are you getting my point? Like, take an example of Sri Lanka. Hambantota port, suna hai? Port was actually given to China on a lease by Sri Lankan government. Let us suppose tomorrow if China is going to place its army here at Hambantota port, then it would enhance the striking capability of China against India or not. So same manner, these forces either they were at the capital or at the places of strategic importance, which enhanced the strike capability of EIC. Clear? Against any foreign power. So in this way, the foreign challenges or external challenges was actually eliminated by EIC. Clear? Third, suppose I already explained you with examples. Suppose this is state 1 and this is 2. Individually, it is not possible for these states to actually defeat EIC. And if EIC forces are stationed, suppose in the capital of native state 1, then in that case, any chance future native lands will be averted. Future mein there would be very less or very rare chance of native lands, local rulers against the EIC. Alone they cannot fight to defeat the EIC. So in this way it proved to be beneficial for the for the EIC. Fourth, Britain were actually in the court. Tomorrow you become IFS officer, Indian Forest, sorry, if you join. Suppose you become of America, Washington DC, what will do? What will be your main priority? Enter into a trade and commerce. Suna na? The main priority of any ambassador, any diplomat is the countries. Right? So, in this president or president was already in decision making, or you can say commercial benefit was also extracted by the EIC. Like they to dump their goods in capital of these native state or in the territory of these native state, and they'll get advantage like zero tax, no import duty, all such kind of advantages would get by the EIC. Are you getting my point? So these were the benefit of subsidiary alliance. Clear? So solve the problem of external enemy, any foreign power. Solve the problem of any future native alliance against the EIC. Trade and commerce advantage. Without having any kind of financial burden, they can which could be used any power, any name of. So these are the important benefit of subsidiary alliance system, EIC. As this kind of question you generally ask. Okay, and answer will not get in any book. Apply your mind, think patiently, critically, and you'll get the answer. I hope this is clear. There is no rocket science. Clear? This is a simple concept. So this is all about the subsidiary alliance system. This is all about the subsidiary alliance system. Note karke likhna, just note it down. Hyderabad was the first state. Hyderabad was the first state. Hyderabad was the first state entered into subsidiary alliance system. Entered into subsidiary alliance system. Followed by Mysore, Awadh, Maratha, etc. Clear? Clear? So this is subsidiary. Another very important that to the tenure of well, second and Maratha War. Second Anglo-Maratha War started in 1802 to 1805, you can say. 1802 to 1805. Yes, you can mention that. It helped them in actually territorial expansion, you right? Without waging war. Next heading, Second Anglo-Maratha War. What is year 1802 to 1805. (1805). See, Treaty of Salbai was concluded in which year? भूल गए. 1780 1779 Treaty of 1782 Treaty of Salbai. Treaty of Vadgaon was in 1779. Okay, for next 20 years there was no war between Maratha and EIC. Okay, because Maratha defeated EIC badly. Okay, see, over a period of time, when strong Peshwa were there in the Maratha kingdom, then whole Maratha kingdom was actually united. But when weak Peshwa came, Maratha empire started disintegrating. And Maratha state was basically the confederate of various small states. Like Pune was the capital of Maratha kingdom where Peshwa used to sit. Okay. Here, Baroda. Baroda was ruled by Gaikwad family. Baroda was ruled by Gaikwad. That was also part of Maratha kingdom. Okay. Similarly, Gwalior was ruled by Sindhia family. Sindhia family. Clear? Similarly, Nagpur was ruled by Bhonsle family. Okay. And here Indore ruled by Holkar family. Clear? In 1800, Peshwa Bajirao II became the Peshwa, and he was very weak ruler. So central power became very weak. And these Maratha, various confederate of Maratha, they used to harm each other. Clear? And this ruler was weak. He was taking no interest to actually maintain peace in the Maratha kingdom. We liked by one ambitious leader, Yashwant Rao Holkar of Indore. He was very, very ambitious. He was always involved in hatching conspiracy between one or other party. उसको मजे थे. Other people, they are fighting among themselves. So this was not liked by Yashwant Rao Holkar. So Yashwant Rao Holkar, Pune. And I already told you, Bajirao II, he was very weak ruler. So he attacked Pune and captured Pune, and Peshwa Bajirao II, he fled to EIC and sought their help. That was the case. So for the second time, EIC got the opportunity to interfere into Maratha affair. Okay. And Governor General Wellesley said, okay, very good, we'll help you. You sign what? Subsidiary alliance, because subsidiary alliance was already in place. So the alliance under a separate treaty was signed actually. That treaty is known as Treaty of Bassein. Bassein is again placed in near Bombay. Treaty of Bassein was signed, and okay. And under this treaty, he entered into the subsidiary alliance. And under this treaty, 6,000 EIC troop would be stationed at Pune. Okay. So here, Peshwa Bajirao II not only entered into the alliance, but at the same time, he actually surrendered the honor of the Maratha. Are you getting my point? At the same time, he surrendered the prestige, honor of the great Maratha Empire. which was not liked by the other players. So they got united and they attacked Pune. But this war was based not on the Peshwa Bajirao II, but you can say EIC. So in this background, second Anglo. Okay, second Anglo-Maratha war took place, but by 1805, all the parties were actually defeated by EIC, and they were also forced to enter into the subsidiary alliance system. Clear? They also entered into what? Subsidiary alliance system, because all the parties, they were actually defeated, and Peshwa Bajirao II was restored to Pune. And EIC got many concessions from the British. One personality, you'll find this name, Arthur. Sorry, what is the spelling? Arthur Wellesley. He was basically the brother of Lord Wellesley, and he was actually leading the army of Confederate power. Clear? He was the brother of Lord Wellesley. Arthur Wellesley, different personality. He was the commander of the EIC army, and he was leading the war against the Confederate state, that is Maratha Empire. I hope this is clear. You'll also come across this name. Remember, Arthur Wellesley is not same as Lord Wellesley. Why I am saying this? Same question UPSC asked. He said that Fort William College was established by Arthur Wellesley. Each and every student said yes. But Arthur Wellesley was a younger brother of Lord Wellesley. Clear? So that statement was basically the wrong statement. And one line, one sentence. His name is actually mentioned in NCERT. You'll get this name. Get his name. So, and Anglo-Maratha war. What was the result? EIC defeated, and all the parties, they signed over a period of time. They signed what? Subsidiary alliance system. Okay. Now, British or empire, which was once upon a time, which was very powerful empire, indirectly came under the control of EIC. Clear? So make this diagram, then write. Send Pune, Nagpur, Bhosle, Gwalior, Sindhia, Baroda, Gaikwad and Indore, Holkar family. दिख रहा है? नहीं दिख रहा? Pune. Sindhia, Baroda, Gaikwad, Holkar family, Indore, Nagpur, Bhosle. Clear? Right. For 20 years, after the first Anglo-Maratha war, for 20 years, after first Anglo-Maratha war, there was no battle between EIC and British. There was no battle between EIC and British. Sorry, EIC and Maratha. EIC and Maratha. Next point. Maratha kingdom was the confederate of several states. Like Maratha kingdom was the confederate of several states like Baroda in bracket right, ruled by Gaikwad family. Several states like Baroda in bracket right, ruled by Gaikwad family. Gwalior, Indore, and Nagpur. Next point. In 1802, comma, Battle of Pune took place. Battle of Pune took place when Yashwantrao Holkar attacked Peshwa Bajirao II. Attacked Peshwa Bajirao II. And he fled from Pune. And he fled from Pune and approached to the British for help. He fled from approach to the British help. Next point. British signed Treaty of Basin, BA. British signed Treaty of Basin with him in 1802. British signed Treaty of Basin in 1802. Next point. Under this treaty, comma, the British promised to place 6,000 troops at Pune. And in return, British got the territorial right of Surat district would yield the revenue of Surat district that would yield the revenue of 26 lakh rupees. 26 rupees. Okay, next point. Here Peshwa not only entered into subsidiary alliance system. Here Peshwa not only entered into subsidiary alliance system, but also surrendered the prestige and honor of Great Maratha Empire. Great Maratha Empire. In this background, Second Anglo-Maratha War took place. Between broken Maratha Confederate and EIC. Between broken Maratha Confederate and EIC. And Marathas were defeated in this battle. Clear? And these parties also entered into subsidiary alliance system. Subsidiary alliance system. Okay. So this is all about the Second Anglo-Maratha War. Clear? Any question? No. One more point, last point related to Wellesley. In 1800, Fort William is in where? Fort William is in Calcutta. Fort William College was established. College in the campus of Fort William was established. Why this college was established? Why this college was established? For British family? No. To train the civil servant or British officials. Okay. About Oriental culture. Okay, about Indian culture and was actually important in this college to the civil service. Okay, suppose tomorrow if you become IAS officer and you got in Assam. So there is separate Assam Administrative Staff College. There they will give you training in the about the Assam culture, language, problem of Assam, etc., etc. Okay. So to administer the India very effectively, training was imparted basically about the Oriental culture. That's why this college was actually started by Lord Wellesley. Lord Wellesley. Clear? Clear? So note it down. Fort William College in 1800. Fort William College in 1800 was established. Fort William College in 1800 was established at Fort William. At Fort William. At Fort William to train the civil servant. To train the civil servant. And its objective was to teach EIC servant, and its objective was to teach EIC servant culture and tradition, to understand Oriental culture, to train the civil servant or to understand Oriental culture for better governance. For better governance. For better governance. Okay. So Fort William College was actually established for this purpose. Clear? So this is all about, or this is all the event that took place during the time of Lord Wellesley. Clear? When Wellesley left India, okay, who became the Governor General? Not Bentinck. See, when Wellesley left India, Lord Cornwallis, again he was sent to India. But when he reached India, he got malaria. And he died because of malaria. He died because of malaria. Okay. For a temporary period, I think I don't remember. Maybe George Barlow. For temporary purpose, he became the Governor General. George, please check the name. Abhi nahi, baad mein. And after that, he became the Governor General. Clear? So remember, Lord Cornwallis came to India twice, but because of the malaria. Okay. Clear? Okay. Next heading, Lord Hastings. Lord Hastings. Warren Hastings and Lord Hastings is different. 1813 to 20. He was for period 10 years. He was in India for 10 years as a governor general. See, before we discuss about Lord Hastings, one very important event took place in 1806. Just note it down. Just note. See, this event is known as Vellore Mutiny. Vellore Mutiny. Mutiny took place. What is mutiny? What do you mean by mutiny? Revolt. Revolt by especially by the sepoys, soldiers. So this was basically the first mutiny that took place. Okay, Vellore Mutiny took place in 1806. What happened here in Vellore Mutiny? Actually, Commander-in-Chief he passed an order, and under that order, he tried to regulate the dress of the company or soldiers. Earlier, Hindu used to put tika on their forehead. Tika samajhte ho? Okay, and turn on their head. And Muslims, they used to keep beard. Okay, but order was passed by Lieutenant Craddock, and he said that now there will be Hindus do any kind of religious symbol on their, and the dress of both Hindus and Muslim sepoys would be the same. So this was back on religion, both Hindu as well as okay. And in India, religion is very sensitive thing. Britishers, they are harassing, they are not properly paying. Soldiers did not actually revolt. But when they attacked on their religion, same thing will happen in 1857. Religion. Indians, they are very sensitive toward the religion. So, mutiny took place. So, when they try to regulate their dress, their culture, their tradition, they try to attack their religion. Both Hindu and Muslim got united and mutiny took place. But within a very short period, this mutiny was actually suppressed by the government. At that time, William Bentinck was the governor of the Madras. Clear? That information is not required at all. But remember one thing, Vellore mutiny took place in 1806. Place because they tried to regulate the dress. They tried to interfere into their religious as well as the cultural activity. So both Hindu and Muslim got united and they attacked. Clear? So this is about Vellore mutiny. So note it down, Vellore mutiny, right? Commander-in-Chief of Madras, passed an order. Commander-in-Chief of Madras passed an order. Commander-in-Chief of Madras passed an order to regulate the dress of the sepoys. Sepoys, S-E-U-S. To regulate the dress of the sepoys. And as per new rule, Hindus were prohibited to put any religious mark on their forehead, and Muslims were required to shave their beard. Okay. So these sepoys, this incident, so these sepoys took this incident as an attack on their, as an attack on their religion, and mutiny started, But within 2 days, this mutiny was suppressed by the company. But within the 2 days, the mutiny was suppressed by the company. Clear? So, Vellore mutiny is very important. Lord Hastings. (1813 to 23). He was the longest serving Governor General for 10 years. First important event took place during his tenure was Charter Act. Charter Act 1813. See, in 1793, charter was renewed. Charter of the company was renewed for 20 years. Now, this charter is very important because monopoly of East India Company was ended. Monopoly of, or you can say commercial monopoly of East India Company was completely ended, except in tea trade and trade with China. Monopoly of EIC was completely ended, except free trade, means tea trade as well as trade with China. EIC, the monopoly, apart from this, of East India Company was completely ended. Very important development. Now the question is, why in 1813 only? Not before that or after? Question is, why in 1813 only? Why in a Charter Act 1813, not in 1793 or 1833? The monopoly of East India Company ended. So what? See, this provision is connected to some international event. I already told you in 1804, Napoleon became the ruler, or you can say king of France. And within a very short span of time, he became the ruler of not of only of France, but of whole Europe. Whole European continent came under his direct as well as indirect control. Okay. Italy was occupied. Spain was occupied. Okay. Prussia were defeated. So directly or indirectly, whole of the European subcontinent, European continent occupied by very important developments. Now, it's a dream of Napoleon to actually defeat the Britain. Napoleon was invincible on the land, but Britain, they were superior in navy. And that time, fighter jet, airport. So actually for Napoleon to actually attack Britain or invade Britain directly, because Navy of Britain, British Navy was actually very, very strong, far ahead than the French Navy. That was the case. Now take an example of two big power today, USA and Russia. Okay. War going on between recently, even today it is going on in some form between Ukraine and Russia. Yeah. Ukraine and Russia. Russia attacked Ukraine. USA is providing all kind of support to Ukraine. But USA cannot confront directly with Russia. The reason is very simple. Both possess what? Atom bomb, nuclear, both are nuclear power. And in the case of direct confrontation, the impact would be very dangerous, not only for these whole planet. Clear? So USA invented new technique to defeat Russia. What? Economic sanction. सुना है? Economic sanction. Clear? Any friendly state, sorry, any country which is friendly to US, USA, okay, cannot enter into any kind of trade and commerce with Russia. Even pressure is on India, because India is buying equipment, defense equipment like S-400 and all such gas. So economic sanction imposed against Russia. In the USA tried to actually suppress, or you can say defeat the Russian. So same policy was actually adopted by Napoleon, because it was not possible for him to directly confront or attack Britain. So he imposed economic sanction that was known as continental system. Continental system was actually imposed by continental system was nothing but economic sanction. So any country in Europe could not enter into any kind of trade with Britain. Otherwise, there will be consequences. Okay. And earlier, before Napoleon, Europe was basically a very big market for the British goods. They used to sell large amount of goods or export large amount of goods to the or in the European market. You can. Okay. So when continental system was imposed, there was pressure on the British Parliament from the business community. And they said that it is you, because of your failure of foreign policy, we industrialists are suffering. So you help us. So there was pressure on the British Parliament at that time. So in this scenario, Indian market was also open for other companies, other industries. So in this background, under Charter Act 1813, monopoly of East India Company was ended, except in tea trade as well as trade in China. And it would be completely abolished in 1830. I hope this is clear. Clear. So why this is happening? Because of the rise of Napoleon in Europe, or you can say in France. It is nothing but, you can say, economic sanction against the Britain. That's why British Parliament, they were forced to open the Indian market for the players. Clear? That's why 1813 is actually important. So you must know this. About Napoleon, about continental system, we'll discuss later on in world history. Clear? So we have 5 minutes, right? Right under Charter Act. There was rise of Napoleon in Europe. There was rise of Napoleon in Europe. Rise of Napoleon in Europe. And he imposed continental system in Europe. And he continental system in Europe. Europe. Continental system in Europe. And trade and commerce of Britain got affected. And trade and commerce of Britain got affected. Got affected. Next point. Got affected. Next point. Due to this, British industrialists demanded British industrialists demanded to open the Indian market. British industrialists demanded to open the Indian market and dissolve the monopoly of EIC in India. Dissolve the monopoly of EIC in India. Next point. So under Charter Act 1813, monopoly of EIC was ended. Monopoly was ended, except in tea trade, and trade with China. Okay, so first provision. Second provision we'll discuss tomorrow. Clear? So go through NCERT, read as much as possible, and revise these notes also. Okay, so tomorrow we'll discuss the other provision of Charter Act 1813. Okay, thank you.